Now we're going to talk about wheels. And we're going to look at what I call the 5 characteristics of a perfect wheel. If you're riding your bike and you have your rim wobble from side to side, you can see that quite easily. And that's what we call lateral out of true. And so that's the easiest one to spot. If a wheel is laterally out of true, we know that rather quickly. Now, another aspect of true has to do with the radial true. I want to have a constant radius distance from the hub to the rim. So that as I spin the wheel like this, I don't see the rim hopping up and down. Those are 2. The third one has to do with the rim being centered when we put the wheel in the bike, and that has to do with what's called the dish. When a wheel is properly dished, it means that the distance between the lock nut on this side of the wheel and the rim is equal to the distance from the lock nut on this side of the wheel to the rim. And if that's the case, if the wheel is properly dished, front or rear, when I put the wheel in the bike, it will be centered in either the rear dropout or the front fork. The next 2 conditions, the 4th and the 5th, have to do with spoke tension, and those are ones that are not easily observable. Those have to be measured, but they're critically important. On the drive side or the right side of a rear wheel, the tension will always be higher than it will be on the spokes on the left side. That's just part of the geometry of the wheel. Now, in order to have a strong wheel, I need to have nice high spoke tension on the drive side. High means to me about 100 kilograms or so would be a typical tension that I look for, 120 kilograms of force on each spoke. I want to have a nice high average tension, and that's the 4th criterion. The 5th is the consistency of that. It's not enough to have a nice high average tension. I want to have a very, very small deviation around that average. I want all of the spokes to be right at the average, and so that I have very consistent balancing of the tension on the spokes. If you have all 5 of those conditions at the same time, and when you build a wheel correctly, you get all 5 at the same time, then you'll have a nice, fast, stable wheel.